base. Truth don't hide, it just waits for a face, for a face. Big footprints in a pine slick path. Bob Lazar files with a government laugh. Court dates lost in a sea of red tape. We ain't 10-4, we just stay awake. True crime tales in a borrowed voice. We speak for the silence, not by choice. Got boots on the dirt and eyes on the skies, digging up stories they hoped would die. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Military broadcast, midnight run, teaching vets how to speak what the war's done. From trigger pulls to microphone stands, from combat zones to healing hands. Public records, missing names, unsealed files, classified games. We chase what's buried, not what trends, and we pray for light at the truth's deep end. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Some chase fame, we chase the facts. Some fold quick, we read the tracks. It ain't paranoia if it's always been there, and we ain't scared to lay it bare. Into the storm. We ain't perfect, but we were made for this form.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
And I'm Alora.
And tonight we have 1980 Millennial Commentates.
Hey, everyone.
Audacious Audrey.
Hi.
Perez Hilton.
Hello.
And the Toll Podcast, Nancy.
Whoop, whoop. Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you guys for being here tonight. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting show. So thank you, Perez, for joining us. I was totally shocked that you actually dipped your toes into the Gypsy Rose world.
It's an interesting one for sure.
And we appreciate your articles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've been covering her for a while, and actually it turns out I've been covering her for about the same amount of time that a lot of other people in this world have. I just haven't been covering her as much as some of the other people in this world, perhaps. But yeah, you know, to me, she was a figure that upon release from prison was this reality television star that's not open to debate. She was a reality television star, and reality television stars are considered celebrities. So she left prison and became this celebrity, and I talk about celebrities. So even before her prison release, I covered her from that lens. I think a lot of other people approach it from more of a true crime perspective, but I came to the table with the celebrity aspect of it all.
Yeah, and I mean, she was pretty much a local celebrity there in Springfield. Nancy can attest to that because she's actually a journalist in Springfield. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Nancy, about her being an actual local celebrity?
Sure. I mean, everybody knew Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee. They represented so many different areas of town. And I know I worked at a radio station. We got our queen for the day at the fair, just little stuff like that. My friend, her son was the leukemia lymphoma Boy of the Year. Gypsy was the Leukemia Lymphoma Girl of the Year. They were on the same field and they got to do the first pitch. It was just stuff like that, events around town. I was in news at the time, but my friend was actually a jock, and she remembers Dee Dee and Gypsy coming in all the time and getting tickets for concerts because people would upgrade their tickets or we would give away tickets and we'd have extras, and they knew that. And so they were regulars at the station coming in and getting tickets and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just, you can't miss them, right? I mean, you see them, the big glasses and the wheelchair, and Dee Dee being so social and bubbly, and I can't help but feel sorry for Gypsy, you know? So yeah, if you met them once, you absolutely knew who they were.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the red flags that I started seeing when she started getting ready to come out of prison. She wanted to go back to that life. And I thought, well, why do we want to do that if that was such a bad life? You know? And so that started me digging, and here we are now. So, but I'm very thankful that Perez has been able to pick it up and kind of show the different aspect of it as her actually being a quote unquote celebrity, you know, even though she's infamous. It's been interesting to see his take on it and actually get Ryan Anderson to sit down and watch one of those videos. I commend you for that.
It's been like pulling teeth of getting him to look at any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I respect that.
I mean,
thing against her.
it's really interesting because here's my problem. I'm always honest.
Be honest.
And some people in the community may not like this. I do believe that many folks in the Gypsy verse are about the truth. But a lot of other people, maybe the consumers, well, and also even the ones that are there, we all have to be honest. I'm honest. Money is a factor for everybody. People that are making content about it regularly are profiting off of it. So that has to be acknowledged. And a lot of people consuming the content, a lot of them, listen, yes, they're about the truth, but it's so similar to me as somebody who covers both. It's similar to Harry and Meghan, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
You're always saying that.
We've talked about that.
People that are really engrossed and invested in Gypsy and the lore and the updates and everything.
Yeah.
Many people, it's like a real life soap opera. They view it as entertainment. And I'm not passing judgment. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just like to be honest. And I always am. There we go.
That's fair. And honestly, I'm shocked because of the monetary incentive. I'm surprised that more news outlets or YouTubers or gossip bloggers have not picked up on this.
Me too.
Because there's a lot of juicy content in it. And
I'm especially when all of those videos came out, I'm floored that more did not cover it. And listen, I love money, but I also love the truth. And trying to get the truth out, trying to discover the truth. I mean, there's so much. It's weird because there's also parallels to the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation. And in that saga, I feel a lot more knowledgeable because I started covering it from the very beginning. Whereas with Gypsy, I covered just, the reality show and the baby daddy drama and this and that. And there's just so much more to the story that it's really overwhelming. And I don't feel comfortable not being an expert on it. And it doesn't make me happy because I wish I was. I wish I knew all the minutia. I wish I knew this and then and that and the other. Like if you ask me anything about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni saga, I've got it. I know it. I've been there since day one. Gypsy, I don't know all of the plea deal and this, and there's just it's a whole universe. And like I said, it's overwhelming.
I want to say I applaud you for trying to learn about it though. Like you come in and you have curiosity, you ask questions. And I think that that's the best way to start if you're not just diving into it all on your own is to ask questions and figure out what's going on. That's the only way to get there, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, not just us on panel, but people in the Gypverse in general, really appreciate your honesty in saying, I am about the clicks and views. I talk about this because this is my job, how I make money. And the monetary aspect of it can never be ignored. I'm using it personally whenever I got monetized to make donations back to the Ozarks, to different places that I feel are related to the case.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a important aspect that can't be ignored, and we really applaud your honesty. It's refreshing.
Thank you. I mean, the question of why the mainstream media is ignoring it, I keep going back to, and I don't have an answer, because it still is all so salacious. Like, it would get clicks, it would get views, and I don't know why. I mean, my only theory as somebody who's been in the media for 22 years is towards the end of the cycle of coverage, like maybe last year or the year before with everything Gypsy, she just stopped clicking for people. And the media just may think she's like cold product. But these videos were so wow that, you know, sometimes cold product becomes hot product again, and you start covering it and it'll get you the clicks and the views. And I'm truly floored. Like, this is such like a TMZ story or such a Daily Mail story, and neither of them have covered it. I'm happy to do my part.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I always kind of just assumed that maybe it had something to do with not wanting to question a survivor, because I'm kind of the mentality. I mean, I don't know, because I mean, they're still posting stuff about her getting the haircut and stuff. So
well, that's a good point. That's a good point. They are still posting about her getting the haircut. And I can't imagine that they're totally unaware, especially because people have told me that they've been emailing to these outlets to let them know about it. So it's clearly intentionally avoiding it.
I think a lot of it is staffing. I mean, you have to start from the very beginning and then unwind everything that's happened to get to where you're at now. And to dig in, I mean, we struggle every day trying to keep up with this fire hose of information. This timeline. I can't imagine a newsroom saying, okay, this is your job right now.
Well, and also the media is a bunch of followers. So unless if one major, like, I'm a member of the mainstream media, but I'm not like the major mainstream media. I'm not legacy media. Okay. I'm the mainstream media, but I'm not legacy media. And in order for one of these, anything Gypsy to really catch on, the legacy media needs to hop on board and, you know, throw gasoline on it. And thus far, I think maybe the New York Post might have done a little something, did they? But and that is the legacy media, and that didn't catch on. And it's just, I still don't know why. That's just, to me, that's actually more bizarre than anything else.
To Perez's point about it probably not being about not wanting to question a survivor, most of the mainstream medias that we've mentioned had no problem questioning Virginia Giuffre before her suicide.
Fair point.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great point.
And there has been rumors, I don't know if they're true, that supposedly, like, if she gets married, they're talking about doing like a quick little cut off of the wedding and all that. So my theory has always been, what if major media knows there's this outlet that is filming or planning to film, so they want to just keep this as hush as they can till that's done with, so that it doesn't tank the ratings?
It's possible, but, you know, not that we should get into this now, although I'm not opposed to getting into it later. When we were at the Chillicothe incident, there were people that were sitting in cars that were actually filming us. And I don't know if that was TMZ or if that was somebody else, or just some random person who just saw somebody doing cartwheels and thought that she looked insane. But, you know, like, there have been people that have been paying attention to some of this stuff, but the stuff that they haven't covered, I feel like, is the most salacious, the most interesting, the things that could make you the most money if monetary value and clicks and views is your main motivation.
Yeah.
So it's just so odd. It really is odd.
And it's perfectly packaged for somebody. I mean, there's the videos, the statements, everything there. I mean,
we literally went to CrimeCon and we had little USB drives that we were handing out to mainstream media. We handed out to Law and Crime Network. We handed out to Vinnie Politan, to
Mhm.
Fox
Vinnie
News,
Louise.
Police, yeah, to so
Mhm.
many different people. And every person that I personally spoke to seemed very receptive to the information,
Mhm.
but none of them have kind of done a deep dive in the meantime.
Mhm.
But there's more stuff that's come out since September. So
Were you going to say something, Millennial?
Oh no, I was just nodding, agreeing with Laura.
I mean, that's just how it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just been interesting to see how it was really trending on TikTok and the Gypsy files caught on and everything. And I thought, maybe this is really going to catch the media's attention, but it caught your attention, which I'm thankful for.
But
But
also, you don't need the mainstream media.
that is true too.
Like, even just, and this is also why I do believe the mainstream media is aware, because newsrooms have young reporters, and young reporters are on TikTok, and especially on TikTok, so many even, just little clips of Gypsy's sayings, her audios have gone viral, like so many of them, like especially in character with the wigs and the wild things that she said, and so many people making their own videos with those sounds. So the mainstream media is aware, and they're intentionally ignoring, and who cares? Y'all don't need them.
True.
The masses are the ones that are receptive to this, the ones whose feeds like this kind of content are it's getting to them.
Mm-hmm.
I do know from reading. Oh, I'm sorry, Amber.
No, go ahead.
I do know from reading a lot of the prison emails that Charlie from TMZ had a close emailing relationship with Gypsy, and Gypsy was breaking her NDA to give them information and directly saying in the email, make sure you say a source and not from Gypsy because this will break my NDA with Lifetime. So I assume that maintaining that relation might be why TMZ doesn't jump on these FOIA videos.
Yes and no, because like, let's look at the Kardashians. TMZ are like up in their underwear, like they live there.
Yeah, they do.
But if there are negative stories about the Kardashians, TMZ is not going to ignore them.
Good point.
So it's so bizarre. But like I said, you all don't need them. And what's fascinating is, I mentioned Harry and Meghan, and it's interesting. Or even like if you take a step back, many people are watching this now on YouTube, and I like to talk about everyone. Like that's why I was in Dallas recently, and I met up with these young, that one lady's not that young, but I met up with
Ash Trevino.
Yeah, I met up with this woman named Ash Trevino. She's in her 30s, but I also met up with this young streamer named 2K, and he's in his 20s. And it's almost like with music, right? Like there's not for me, because I'm passionate about music and I love discovering new music, but I would say for most people, they have like their era of their lives where their brain likes discovering new music. And then for some reason, a lot of people just clock out, and they just, it's just about the old music they used to listen to back in the day. And it's not so much about new discovery. I feel like the Gypsy universe is infinite, really, in the way that even before Harry and Meghan, the royal watchers, as they call themselves, fans of the royal family or hate watchers, people follow them for decades. Or like I was going to say on YouTube, there are some creators on this platform who aren't even active on this platform anymore on YouTube, but still get talked about on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because the people that cover them, it's like, oh, these are the people that I'm an expert on. These are the people in my wheelhouse. These are the people that I've conditioned my audience to expect content from me about. And the same is true with music. You've got your favorites, and I'm curious to see how this story continues to unfold.
Yeah. Something you actually mentioned at the very beginning of what you were saying is the Kardashians. And actually, I learned this from millennials' hard work. But part of the reason why we put Kim Kardashian and Gypsy's photo in the thumbnail of this video is Perez. Did you know that we just recently found out that Gypsy was actually watching Kim Kardashian and Ray J's tape post the murder, between the murder and her getting arrested? A lot of celebrity tapes.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of celebrity tapes.
She looked
but I
for
found
one from Chloe too.
Oh, really?
I just found that one so funny since she met Kim, and that's the thing that she's perpetually reposting. And Kim, I don't
She posted. Wait, she's reposted it.
multiple times.
Not the actual video, but
Oh.
reposted her
Her
interaction.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well-
Gypsy repost the photo of her and Kim together like all the time. So
And to point out another weird thing with that, go back to the prison emails whenever she wrote about Kylie Jenner, supposedly Ken Singer, and how she would fuck a Kardashian up.
I forgot about
I
that.
forgot about that.
She
Yes,
did.
she did say she was gonna fuck a Kardashian up. If
Like,
they
I don't want to have to F up a Kardashian.
Like, there's just so many weird things, but I think, like you were saying, Perez, the people that are seeing it, you don't necessarily need mainstream media. And I think the proof in that is if you go to comment sections on some of the bigger videos, there are people that like, I didn't know this. Thank you for letting me know. Like, my mind has been changed. I'm really side-eyeing her and stuff. So, I mean, you don't need Fox News, CNN, ABC. I don't even know what news outlets there are in this day and age.
Yeah,
You
right.
don't need them to get information out. If all you need really is a viral video.
That's true.
Yeah. And there's been quite a few viral videos that have come out of this, whether they exposed everything and laid everything out on the table or not. I mean, a lot of people have seen those damn dancing videos.
What do you think, Perez, about her reposting those videos and saying that she didn't mean to start another trend or to start a trend?
I think she's clearly getting advice. I think there's some discrepancies as to who may or may not be on her team these days, but she still has a team and she's getting advice. It's, one of the reasons why she soft launched a podcast this year. She's still got to make a living, and it's obvious that she doesn't want to make a living by working a 9-to-5 job. So she's going to continue to try to be this influencer celebrity in the social media world. And some of the decisions I think are smart, which some people in the Gypsy universe might disagree with me, and that's fine. Like, whether it's authentic or not, whether she's just doing it for show, whether it's fake or not, her making this appeal to God and rebranding is very religious. I think it's strategic and smart because very religious people, they're taught, well, God forgives all and everybody deserves second chances. And, he who cast the first stone and all of those things. So
You're very
it's
correct on
smart
that.
it's smart that's how she started off her 2026. And like I said, I don't know if it's true. I don't think it's true, but it's smart nonetheless. And all of the other things the only thing that I don't think is smart, or like, I still don't understand quite why she would give up her major TikTok account.
She took it back.
Oh, she did?
She did.
She gets
I missed
impulse
that.
and just blows shit up.
Yeah, I think it's her
Wait, so
podcast platform now.
Wait, she took it back and she still has another new one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the new one is like for her more organic content where she's doing, whatever. But I think the main one is for her podcast platform. Where she'll post the clips and stuff if they ever come out.
But let's just say the big one also back in September, it was her blown beauty art. So she has a habit of switching it to her newest business adventure and then going back to Gypsy and then to her newest business adventure. So it's a pattern.
Kind of like Meghan Markle.
Constant rebrands. I didn't catch the name, but I saw someone in the comments say she's going to copyright Gypstein files next.
I would not be surprised.
Hey, whoever came up with that did a great job.
That's
I don't
kinda
know
funny.
who did it, but I love it.
Yeah.
So we're not experts, Perez, but do you have any questions for us about all of this? Like anything that you're trying to clear up in your own mind?
I mean, I think like for me, it's just it's overwhelming for me to really form, because I have not consumed all of this voluminous information. I
Yeah.
don't really know. Here's what I'll say what I know, and here's what I'll say what I don't know. And I've always been consistent. I'll say that she should not have murdered her mother. That's a freaking played a part in the murder of her mother.
Mhm.
She should have just left. She was in her early 20s. Same with the Menendez brothers. Even though they were alleged victims, they should not have done what they did. And then they lied and they covered it up. Like, that's messed up. But they also did serve a lot more time than Gypsy. So she should not have played any part in the murder of her mother. She should have just left. She should have served more prison time. Absolutely. And I think those are the three big things that I believe and that I think that I know are true for me and that I've always been consistent on. The other big elephant in the room, was she not abused? Was she abused? That I don't know. And I don't even care. Like, I don't need to feel like I have to have an answer on that, because the other things that I do believe are so rock solid, black and white, and important. I don't think she's a good person. Like, that's also something that I believe, like, clearly she's not a good person.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Okay. Go ahead, Alora.
All I had to say was the majority of people that are in prison have been abused or had something traumatic happen to them. And it doesn't mean that we can't empathize with the things that did happen to them. And, that's not even really commentary on Gypsy. That's just commentary in general, but if you're just consistently effing up at a certain point, I mean, we have to hold you accountable for the person that you are and that you continue to be. And we can't just let you continue to get reality shows and do podcasts and all this stuff without any backlash whatsoever. And, I don't think any of us really tried to disprove. What's up?
But actually, this is a hot take. All of this chatter, I think, only helps her, really.
Probably.
To an extent.
I'm really old school. I truly believe that all attention is good attention, and even hate watching or this or that, it still only helps. And especially going forward, like it would not shock me if she got cast on Dancing with the Stars. And even if some people in the community are like, we're going to boycott, let's start a petition, that won't do anything. The people that work with her going forward, they know everything. And that's exactly why they're going to book her. Because they know that it'll get a lot of press and a reaction.
But I think the narrative can really change if we get those DNA results. We start going through those. I think.
What DNA? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's been a FOIA filed for the DNA results. So whenever Gypsy was arrested, she was wearing a shirt that was not the shirt Nick wore whenever he committed the crime, nor whenever he left the crime scene. And it looks like there's blood spatter on her shoulder. And Nick said, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but wasn't it Nick that said they hadn't changed clothes in 5 days?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means she would have been wearing that shirt. We know she was wearing it at the hotel. We know that much.
And he says there's a secret he'll never tell.
Yes. That he will take to his grave.
It's a rabbit hole, Perez, and there's weird stuff. And just when we think, oh, no, that couldn't happen. No, that's dumb. That's ridiculous. We find out somewhere, oh, dang, that really did happen. So,
yeah, I mean, there is a specific video of me on the internet where I'm talking to a live streamer, TikToker, YouTuber, And she put it up, and I was even saying in September when we were at CrimeCon that, you know, Dee Dee was abusive and she was crazy, and we're never trying to disprove that. And I still don't know where the truth lies, because there's probably some weird middle ground, but it seems like a lot of the stuff that she was claiming about Dee Dee.
I really like hearing that, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe you're in the minority. Like it seems like a lot of people in the community are adamant that it was all a lie, she was not abused, and that they want to get that out there.
A lot of us were that way until this last FOIA. Like I was very hard on Dee Dee because I'm from Southwest Missouri. My friends and family were conned by them and gave them a lot of things and money. And I was extremely hard on Dee Dee and never even I wouldn't consider the possibility that perhaps she might have thought that all this was real. And then we get this FOIA video of Gypsy standing there saying, yeah, I'm lying to everybody. And I didn't tell my mom fully about how good I could use my legs until 2011. And it's like, now the door is open to a possibility that Dee Dee didn't know until a certain time, and then was like, what the hell do I do? And then that time that Gypsy told her that is also the time we know Gypsy took a BB gun and shot her 10 times and then held her with a knife over the toilet in the bathroom. And Gypsy writes about this in her memoir. She doesn't even deny this. So from 2011 on, Dee Dee had suddenly been given this information that Gypsy had been lying about half her symptoms, and knew Gypsy was trying to kill her because she shot her and held her with a knife point. Yeah. So it makes me look at Dee Dee a different way now in a lot of her actions and some of the things that she did that I don't like and don't care for. But now I see it as someone who was, for the last 4 years of her life, knew that the person she lived with and did everything for wanted to kill her.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, and I've always said whenever she found out that Gypsy truly could walk, she had very limited options. She could admit to everybody that, hey, this has all been a lie and look dumb for not knowing, or she could cover for her daughter and continue the lie to save her own daughter's reputation. But I think all of us generally agree that, she was conning people for money.
Yeah, Dee Dee's complicated, and the more we learn, the more I have sympathy for Dee Dee. Because in the beginning, before I actually knew anything, because I didn't follow the case before, this just happened because my cousin is in Chillicothe for 25 years, and we started praying for her. That's how it started.
And honestly, we wouldn't have even filed any of the FOIAs if all of the crap that happened in Chillicothe didn't happen. We just wanted to see if we were dealing with a crazy lady or somebody that had some legitimate information. So we decided to take our own route to figure out what the truth was.
Yeah, and what we've learned about Dee Dee has definitely softened my perspective on her, and I would like to know more about who Dee Dee was.
Because for months or for years, because we've been doing this for 2 years, I think, I was like very anti the, justice for Dee Dee train. Like, yeah, it sucks. It's not good that she was murdered, but I fully believed the narrative up until literally just like late November, early December.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm having to kind of like reevaluate everything. And I still don't know what I believe 100% because, there are only 2 people that know what happened in that house. And one of them is no longer here.
Watching the Cape Cod video, I think, changed a lot of us. We saw light of
Have you watched the Cape Cod video, Perez?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Have you seen the video of Dee Dee dancing to the one hop at a time? Yeah, cha-cha slide.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so it's a video that Gypsy took while they were in Cape Cod in 2015 and edited together for their fundraising, but then she also added in clips and sent it to Nick, and that's why it's in the FOIA. And when we all watched it, it just was kind of like, what? Like,
I don't
this lady seems really sweet.
Oh, she seems sweet. Okay.
Would you like to watch it?
It's a 27-minute video.
Well, we can bring it to where Dee Dee's at in there just to see, what we're talking about.
We can look at some of it. I mean, so it's kind of like cut up, like the parts. I think a big thing that stood out to people was that I think Dee Dee was drinking like a slushy or something like that. And, Gypsy starts kind of chastising her about
Having diabetes.
and stuff like that.
And also when they're on the boat and Gypsy's trying to get everyone's attention, laughing really loud. Yeah. Like it's a really revealing video, honestly, Press.
Let me see if I can at least find the part where she's dancing, just so he can watch that. And then,
I mean, I still don't quite understand
It
what's
basically
meaningful about that, but I'll watch it.
it showed
I mean, 'cause
their
I would think. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're
I would think that like some could argue that even awful people have moments where they're not awful.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's really true. It's what one of the things that's been shocking to us, though, is the premise of this murder is that she convinced Nick to murder her mom to save her from abuse. But she sent Nick videos all the time talking about how much she loved her mom and her mom was so protective and she would be lost without her mom. She sent videos to Nick of her and her mom having a fun time. And considering how much she videoed and edited her life, it's like, where's the video talking about the abuse? It's very strange.
well, and
Because you have a good point, but we just keep thinking because these are such private, just to Nick videos, that there would be some justification in there for what she has to do. And instead, we see Dee Dee dancing around and them having a fun time together. And she sent that to Nick. That's part of what's so weird and shocking about
That's
it.
a great point. Yeah.
well, and I
I
think
mean, maybe there wasn't abuse. Maybe it was just, they were these two, I don't know, maybe they were just both con artists together and one was just more rotten than the other. I don't know. I'm just thinking all possible scenarios.
Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's complicated. I personally think it was probably a very toxic household in some way.
Yeah.
Do I think the specific things that she accused Dee Dee of were true? Not particularly, at least not from what I've seen yet. I'm not saying that my mind is just made up and nothing could ever convince me otherwise. I
Especially
personally
in
do
this
not
case.
like. Yeah, I personally, every day it changes.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the idea of, questioning a victim and trying to disprove her or anything. And again, like I said, the only reason why we even looked into it was to see what was going on in a very separate situation. And maybe we can play part of this. And I don't think it's going to convince you or anybody else that's have like a certain, certain mindset about it. Well, we already know that you majorly agree that she should have served more time and et cetera, et cetera. But I do think it's an interesting video to watch, at least part of it.
Yeah. Audrey.
before we
Something
play
I
that,
wanna- Go ahead, Audrey.
I was just gonna say before we play that, like I'm the asshole, the odd one out. I really don't think that Dee Dee was the abuser. And my reasoning is because we have Gypsy stealing from her, not only her medicine, but her money. Then we have Gypsy shooting her.
Yep.
Then we have Gypsy stealing from her again and ultimately killing her. And 9 times out of 10, the victim is not going to be able to escalate to a point of shooting them and walk away from their abuser like she did.
Let's
That's
see.
a good point. One thing I wanted to share real quick, Perez, is that one of the aspects that I come to this from is something I tell people a lot in my videos is there are a lot of very conservative groups, religious groups in Southwest Missouri, where I come from, where Dee Dee and Gypsy lived at that time. There are Amish and a bunch of offshoots from that. There are deeply, deeply conservative Pentecostals and things like that. And I personally was homeschooled, not allowed to, be around a normal life. We didn't have TV. I dressed like Laura Ingalls Wilder and run off from home at 17. Whenever we were at CrimeCon, me and Into the Weeds, I talked to Mike King, and he was one of the police officers who helped track down Warren Jeffs from the FLDS and those children that were trafficked. And I asked him, I showed him a picture of me when I was young. He had a visceral reaction because it looks so much like the FLDS kids. And I was like, listen, I'm really into the Gypsy Rose case because it affected my community.
Mhm.
And, you know, some of the ways that she was raised, a lot of people find that very not okay and emotionally abusive. I'm like, she was homeschooled. She was made to dress certain ways. Although we've learned now that some of those ways she dressed was just her kink. She liked dressing like a little girl. It wasn't all Dee Dee. But I'm like, you know, all this. And are there any, those aspects are similar to the FLDS and these very conservative, secluded groups. I said, are there any incidents of any of those kids killing their parents to get away? And he said, no, not one. They've all run away like you did. And that's one of the reasons why I feel strongly about this, not just because it affected my community, but I do understand a deep desire to be normal. You know what I mean? And the right answer is to run away. Like, it's just not to murder. You run away, you know?
Yeah, I said that for sure.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that. And you look like a little Amish girl in that picture that you showed me. Like, you could tell you were clearly held back from who we see today.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
that
a different
made
time.
you who you are today, you know, all those experiences made you exactly who you are. So
Yeah.
I think it's I don't think there's a definitive answer. And I think I put it on the screen a second ago, but Mummy Brown said something along the lines of not all abuse is physical. And I agree. I think that an enmeshment or a toxic situation could probably blur the lines of abuse from time to time. And I'm not convinced that that wasn't a possibility. Personally speaking, I'm not convinced either way. But these specific things that Dee Dee was accused of, such as putting her out on a porch a couple nights before the murder. Is that when it was supposed to be?
Something like
Lying in
that.
bed overnight.
Chaining her up,
Chaining
all
her up.
kinds of different
Chained to the bed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Stuff that we just don't believe was physically possible by looking at her body, like her saying that she was, you know, dramatically underweight. But unfortunately, we have seen a video where we saw her entirely
Mhm.
and she was not emaciated. Yes, unfortunately.
Well,
So-
and we have her weight upon arrest and everything.
Yeah.
And it's average for her height.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rebrand.
as somebody who was emaciated at one point in time and I was skinnier and looked worse than she did, you know, I just don't see it. I'm not saying
Either
toxicity
way.
isn't possible.
Yeah,
but-
either way, it's been an interesting ride looking at
Mhm.
all of these things after being sold a whole different story.
yeah.
And I'm just trying to bring light to it now, only because, you know, I stepped my foot in and I fell in. So, you know, and you know, it's not really my cup of tea, but at the same time, I think it's very important when she's out there still using the internet to influence people. When before the crime happened, she used the internet to influence somebody to actually do that. So that's where I have a problem. So if you want to stick around, Perez, with us, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, we're going to get into Nancy's and Audrey's stuff that they've found and done. And so you're more than welcome to hang out, or you can pop out.
I'll pop out now just because it's good to make a cameo.
Yeah, I understand.
And I also think you guys go long, right? You usually
Yeah.
do long shows. So I think that was a better time to leave than like in a little bit. But if anybody is watching on YouTube, my channel here is at Perez Hilton. Give me a follow. I would appreciate that so much. And happy to be on and learn more. So thank you for having me on.
And you have a
Thanks
new
for hanging out.
TikTok, correct?
What?
You have a new TikTok, correct?
Yeah,
Or-
but who knows how long that'll last for.
That's a fair point.
Advertise it anyway.
Perez Hilton on YouTube, and I mean for now I'm the showbiz dude on TikTok, but I'm trying to work behind the scenes to keep it this time. Fingers crossed.
And PerezHilton.com?
Yeah, obviously, and I got a podcast, PerezPodcast.com, and yeah, I'm just Sorry. I was about to start crying, but I'm not going to cry.
Oh,
I'm just so grateful, truly thankful to have chatted with you all, and so grateful that 22 years into my career, some people still listen to what I have to say. And, I work really hard, and I make mistakes. I've made a lot in the past that are very public. I still make mistakes. I'll continue to make mistakes, but I genuinely try to do better than before, try to do good. And the truth truly does matter to me. So thank you all.
yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you for hopping on. And if you're bored at the end of May, if you hop on to CrimeCon in Las Vegas, there's going to be a lot of weird shit going down.
Maybe, yeah, sure. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Maybe I'll see you there.
Okay. Well, have a blessed
All right.
evening, Perez.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, that was very kind of him to come on and talk with us. I really hope that he goes and watches the Cape Cod video, because I think it's very important for him to connect a little bit to Dee Dee and who she was. She is the victim. Ultimately, she is the victim. And so with that being said, Audrey or Nancy, which one of you guys want to go first with what you've got?
Mine's just like some analytical stuff. So, I mean, whichever you want to go with.
Actually, let's get into Nancy's first, because hers are two audios, and
oh, sorry, you can.
Yeah, let me set this up for you guys. So I've been working on a podcast for the last 3 weeks, and it just takes time because I want to get it right. And I was talking to you guys earlier, and I was just like, this is the first time that the Ozarks will be, people know me and I'm respected here. So for a lot of people, it'll be the first time they get a glimpse of what is actually happening. They just don't know. So I just want to get it right, and I'm taking my time. I got some cuts from my news days that I'm putting in there and stuff like that, some sound. But this is Dominique, and she was Gypsy and Dee Dee's former neighbor on Volunteer Way. And what's neat about Dominique is she lives in the past, because she's seen a few video clips of Gypsy now, but she has not dug in. So she doesn't know. So her perspective is from when time stood still, kind of, so it's kind of cool to listen. So I do want you to keep that in mind when she's talking about this stuff. She's not dug into this, but I asked her about the shed, and so much has come up about the shed. You guys digging in and finding those Facebook posts, debunking Dee Dee, locking her in there. But I just generally asked about the shed.
Okay. I think it's 329, correct?
No, it's 341.
341. Okay, here we go.
Little dollhouse when they finished it, and she's like, oh, look at how I get to play out here and play dress up, and yeah, it just looked like a little dollhouse, and with all of her wigs and princess stuff, Disney stuff.
Did you ever see anything weird?
No, never.
Feel like Gypsy was locked in the shed?
No, never. I would hope that she would yell for help or something. Her neighbor, the one that's directly right next to her, I'm trying to think of her name. She would come out every once in a while. She was a lady that had Down syndrome, and she said that she came out to see how Gypsy's doing every now and then, and she was always home. I would think that she would have heard Gypsy if she got locked in the shed or something, because her bedroom was right there on the side of where the shed is, as far as I know, because her house was pretty much laid out like mine.
So Gypsy was in the shed and she was yelling, this woman with a purse.
Oh yeah. And even though that she was kind of to herself a lot, I'm sure she would have called her mom, and her mom was over there every single day, to come visit her daughter. So yeah, I'm sure that one of them would have heard something. Little dollhouse when they finished it, and she's like, oh, look at how I get to play out here and play dress up, and yeah, it just looked like a little dollhouse, and with all of her.
Okay, I think that was the end of that.
Yeah, it was started to repeat.
Okay, so that was very interesting. So she actually at one point had all of those outfits and wigs and stuff in the shed.
That's what it sounded like. I mean, she was describing stuff in the shed. And she said if it would have been summertime, she had a little, she did, I think what she described as like hobbies in her shed. She's like, summertime, it was so hot. Like you could not stay in there. She would have to come out of the shed just because it was so hot during the summer. But she was just like, locking her in there. No. What? But
It's interesting. She says that Gypsy actually played out there and had her stuff out there because Gypsy said in her book that she never played in that shed because it had a dirt floor and was full of bugs. And we see from the crime scene pics it didn't have a dirt floor.
Well,
And then we
one
have
thing
Dominique's testimony.
sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I was going to say one thing we've learned about Gypsy. If she says she didn't do it, she did.
Yep.
That's what it's amounting to, really much.
Demon.
If she says someone else did it, it was probably her.
Well, and not only that, Dominique doesn't just say that stuff's out there, but they showed it to her. They were proud of it. People seen it. It wasn't this hidden shed.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Anybody else on that shed?
I just go back to it sounds like it's not a hidden shed. I mean, if I have a storage unit basically by my house, which I used to have, I wasn't showing my neighbors what was in it. I wasn't like, come check out my boxes and shit, you know?
I think it's very interesting that she had all of the wigs and everything out there.
Yeah.
When I first read that passage in the book, I thought, how rude. You know, those people worked hard to give her like this playhouse area specifically to look like hers. And I suspected that we would hear eventually that people would say that she did play out there. I'm so glad that Dominique agreed to talk to Nancy. And, but yeah, whenever I read that, I'm like, okay, she's saying a dirt floor and it doesn't have a dirt floor. And she's acting so snotty and haughty and like it just was never good enough. She never went out there and played in it. And that's clearly bullshit.
Yeah.
I wonder when she moved it all inside.
That would be a good question.
Mhm.
Because it
and
looks
was
like
it
it
part of
was.
the bags? Was it part of the trash bags?
No, there was some in her dresser drawer and stuff,
Yeah.
organized, and in her closet. But I wonder if that was because they moved it inside for summertime.
Do you see Dee Dee and Gypsy moving all of that stuff inside just for summertime?
That's a fair point. Because it wouldn't be me either.
Okay.
When she did the "Do you want to build a snowman?" have any of y'all, I never thought to try and tell, but have any of y'all tried to tell exactly which side of the house they're on? Were they on the shed side or the other side?
It looks interesting because it looks like there's like walls on both sides. That's what I noticed about it. Because I thought, where is there like a hallway looking area?
It's
That
got to
would-
be in the back. If it
Like
almost
in
looks like
between the shed and the house?
something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't
Just
know.
wondering.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would have to look.
Okay. I'm not seeing anybody's comments at the moment because I'm going to play the other one. But Nancy, you want to set up the other clip?
Yeah. With this one again, just a reminder that she doesn't know the updates to life, like all these FOIAs, all these videos. She's seen a couple of clips, excuse me. But yeah, just keep that in mind when you play this. So go ahead.
Okay.
She just seems like she's lost, like she's scared, like she just seems that she wants out. That's what I see, that she wants to be loved so bad, but she's scared because she doesn't know. The only love that she really knows, like she loves Disney, so she thinks that that's how love is. I mean, I could totally see that in these videos. She just looks like a scared little girl. That is trying to figure out life on her own because she doesn't have a solid back support system to help her navigate what reality is. She just seems like she's lost, like she's...
Okay.
So yeah, she's just saying when she has seen a couple of these clips, and I think it would be really hard to actually change her mind. You'll find that out when I do the full podcast and you listen, but it's just, what she saw of both mom and daughter and their interaction. Yeah, I mean, there's some things obviously that can't be ignored, but I think there's a lot of, well, what was going on in that house,
Right.
that we'll never know. And I think that's a lot of her question, like just being in the neighborhood and knowing these people, it's very traumatic. Her son lost his friend, and that's a lot of the reason why she pulled out of the news coverage. She's just like, I gotta deal with this. Like, I don't even know what did I just live through, as far as with these people, because something was weird, something was off, but we all have different things about us. And that girl was sick. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, it really
Well,
is.
and the image of Gypsy knowing nothing but Disney was so deeply cemented in everyone's mind that realizing with this, especially after all this time with this new FOIA stuff, even though like a little bit was known before, about the Demona and this and that, realizing just how much Gypsy knew and understood about everything and how she could Google and research anything in the dang world she wanted and get access to anything she wanted is so hard to comprehend for people who've had it cemented in their mind for a decade that she didn't know anything but Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they shared homeschool resources. So she knew what Gypsy was studying, and everything was so younger than, a 23-year-old woman. Or no, she didn't homeschool at that point, but just,
Yeah.
I thought she was 16 or 17 or 15 or 16 toward the end, like to learn she's a grown woman was so mind blowing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I noticed after watching all of these videos is that before I thought that Gypsy was probably not very confident and kind of stumbled her way through it. But now I see that Gypsy was very confident in these characters and very solid in like the things she wanted to do. At least that's what was communicated to me on screen. If I was watching another person, excuse me, not just Gypsy, but another person saying the same things that she was saying in the manner that she was saying them in, I feel like she was confident and very eager to be this person and to experience these things.
Right.
It definitely didn't seem like her first time with any of those videos.
No, it didn't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else about those two clips?
I think that it would be almost fair to say she didn't necessarily love Disney, more of an obsession with Disney.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
continues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wants the fairy tale happy ending.
Yeah,
That's
most
clear.
definitely.
I think all of us do. I feel like I remember being in my very early 20s and going through it and being like, man, fuck Walt Disney, because this is not how life was supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned real quick it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my fairy tale happy ending.
You'll get it.
Okay, Audrey, you have some stuff that you want to present.
I do. So I have been chatting with a lady who she does wish to stay anonymous, but she has taken the Demona love slave messages and Nick's messages and broke them down. Will you the chart one?
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, they're broke down and it's day by day how many messages were sent by each account. And you can see like Nick explicit, and then it's sexual content. Then you have violence or threats, Demona explicit content, Demona threats, Nick explicit percentage, etc.
Okay.
So she went through and she did all of this. And then if you go to, oh no, I didn't add it. Let me see if I got the screenshot really fast. I'll scroll my stuff quick. I promise. Okay, I didn't get it, but there was a breakdown. I can find it on this. It shows basically what this one ends up concluding, because she asked it to take and see who was more explicit, who was more profane, and who was more threatening.
Okay.
Through all of these. So if you click the pie chart next to that one,
Okay.
it brings up that Damona was less threatening in these and Nick was more threatening. Now, I do want to point out to people that are unaware of the situation going on, in these messages, Damona is a slave, hence her name, Love Slave, and Nick is the master. So it's not really surprising to see that Nick was the more threatening one versus whenever it's Gypsy Rose's emails with Nick, Gypsy is the dom and Nick is the slave to Gypsy. It's so confusing. But this is just the Damona one that we've went through and talked about at this point. So this area, Gypsy's not wrong whenever she says Nick was threatening in his messages. The level of threat, it does not determine though, because I think, like I said, we've all kind of read them. And then if you go to the next one, it shows explicit rates. So there is an NA portion, and that's emails that had no explicit content in them. But Nick overall was 25% explicit, whereas Damona was 40% explicit. Do y'all have any thoughts on that?
I think we all expected that.
Yeah.
And then, oh, go ahead.
That's a lot. That's all.
Yeah. And then the next one is the next category that she split it up in, and that's profane. And it shows Nick only 27% of the time, whereas Gypsy was 64% in hers. So I found it interesting that she's the more explicit, she's the more profane, but then Nick's the more threatening. But statistics are what they are. It just broke down the way it did.
Do you know what parameters she used to define threatening whenever pulling that data?
No, that's a good question. I will ask her.
That is a good question.
I think, no, I don't want to say, because I don't know. I don't want to speak out of line and say it wrong. I will ask her the parameters used.
Okay.
I expect that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big data girly, but looking at this, I mean, it seems to paint a very clear picture, and that's not something anybody can really deny.
Right.
If it is all accurate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like
And if you go back to the first screenshot, the chart ones, I did want to point something out that we're also looking at. In the first columns, B's and C's, that's the messages sent on those days. And so like you can see there's days where she sends like 1 and 5 and 3 and 1. And then there's days where she says nothing at all. And Nick as well, he says nothing at all. But I should have got a screenshot. But there's other days where Gypsy sends like 100 messages and just an insane amount. But we are also noticing there seems to be like buildups to those really high message days, and then it just stops, and then buildups, and it just stops. So it kind of looks like there's a manic swing going on in these messages. So we're going to look at that. And then whenever we do, I am also going to try to correlate it with Dee Dee's account and see if there is a hospital stay spoken about at that time, or if there's like a con or a convention going on, or something that would take her attention away from home to be able to do these things. And that's the reason for the silence, and not just like random outbursts with her. Because we see that now to this day, and that's what her and I were talking about, is she'll go offline for days at a time and then just randomly pop back up. And then she pops back up, and it's consistent, and boom, she's gone. So, but yeah, that's what we've been working on. It's still got some work to go, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And Millie, I will ask her that question, and I will get back to you on that.
Awesome. There was a lot of people in the chat asking it, and I thought it was a really good question.
Oh, I didn't even see the chat. I'm bad about paying attention.
I see a few things in the chat, and it's kind of hard to follow because it's going kind of fast, and there's some off-topic things. But yeah, I have seen some. It'll be interesting to see what the data input was versus what we got out. But very interesting.
Yeah, and I love when it's broken down like this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it all, mapped out like this.
Yeah, so I'm a visual person like this, but I'm not a input in charts. Like 3 lines in, and I'm like, I really overdid myself here.
I actually used to be a lot more methodical and organized and stuff. Not
Me too.
on my projects, not in my life.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that is that y'all are working on that you want to tell us about with that?
So we're working on a timeline of some events. I will shoot her a quick text message and ask if she's okay with me showing like a small screenshot of that timeline before I do, but we are working on a timeline of things. Hold on one second, with me showing a small clip of the timeline. And so right now, I know with the timeline, we have, or I say we, she's done most of everything. Putting in right now, for the most part, has been a lot of the con stuff, a lot of activities, things they were doing like that. Uh-oh, it's not letting me into the dang thing. Hold on, y'all just chat. I'm going to drop off screen really fast so I can dig a little quicker without being distracted.
Okay.
Chat away, ladies.
Amy KRU in the chat said, I need a count on how many times Nick said, what do you mean? That's great.
Listen, honey.
Also, I want to take this moment to appreciate Ashley for the brief amount of time that she was up here and didn't get to speak a word. I loved her calming white bow and her collar. I also have some calming white bows. I try to wear a calming white shirt. This was the only long sleeve I had, but it looks kind of dorky, but that's fine.
Very calming. I feel calm.
Very calming. We needed a little bit of that. So
We need to get her a new phone. I don't know what's going on with her, but I sure miss her energy when she's not here.
I know.
We need to get her a microphone.
I need to get with her and see what we can do for her.
Yeah.
Does she live in the boonies?
No, I don't think she does. Okay, so Millennial, do you want to listen to that audio that you told me about?
Yeah, I think we might have heard it before, but I was just listening to it again and I thought it was interesting. So it's a cab driver and they interviewed this cab driver and he told about taking them to Walmart. And then they called the cab driver back and said, listen, we found another sheet where you went to Volunteer Way on June 9th. And it took him a bit to remember. And the call where he called back and talked about it was really strange because it seems to be a different time that Nick may have went to the house, aside from the time he actually went there early morning, June 10th for the actual murder. And they talk about him going to the side door and looking in windows.
Okay. Oh, I remember. I loaded it in the studio. I kept looking for it. I was like, where the heck is it? Okay. Here it goes.
Audio. Sergeant Walker.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I think I remember this guy. I picked him up and I took him over there, and if I remember correctly, this guy had like a dark backpack. And when I dropped him off, I think he went directly to the back of the house.
Okay.
Around to the right side, because that house had a long driveway, and I think he went to the right of the house, to the back of the house.
Okay.
And that's the last I saw of him.
Okay. Do you see anything stand out about him, like what he was wearing or anything like that?
No, honey, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Like I said, I realize you see a lot of people and everything.
Yeah, it's just that, I know, when you see that, when I saw the guy, on the TV, I was like, I know I recognize this guy. And because, you see him in your cab, and, I wasn't for sure, now that you bring up that date, and it's like, okay, that's the date.
Yeah.
So, because the other guy kind of looked like him too, and it's like, okay, well, maybe that's one, and I know that doesn't help you guys, but so that's the only thing I could think of that I remember about this dude.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much.
Well, if you need anything else, I'm sorry.
That's okay. If I need anything, I'll definitely give you a call back, if that's all right.
I'm glad you found that on there,
Yeah.
Like I said, usually I take pictures of the whole slip, and I know the reason why I didn't is because it probably has a back to it, and it was a long slip, and I just took the front of the envelope, so I knew how much I had made that day, and
Right.
and that way I have it for my taxes.
Right.
So, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye.
Miss Behaven said in the chat, I think this is about the 12th or 13th. No, the same cab driver did an interview about the 12th or 13th, but then they called him back because they found this sheet about the 9th and he didn't remember it. And they sent him a picture and then he called back after he looked at it and remembered it. There's a audio just before this we could play that will prove that, but you could look at it in the FOIA and email me if you have trouble finding it, and I'll point it out to you.
Okay.
But yeah, it's weird.
The cab stories are extremely odd because I don't know, sometimes they conflict and sometimes you're like, what the heck are they really talking about there? It's been a minute since I've listened to them all, but yeah.
Well, and I think the cab stories tell the story. Like I was saying, Nick's never mentioned they changed at the crime scene, but they get into the cab wearing a different outfit.
Yeah. And they show up at the hotel wearing different outfits.
Yeah, we saw that in surveillance. The same cab driver in the earlier story where he talked about the 12th or 13th, he said he took them from, I think it was Days Inn to Walmart or something like that. And he described Gypsy as short hair, not having a wig on, and that she was wearing, like, he said it looked like hospital pants, like scrubs.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to link this in here real quick.
Oh, Joy just did.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that it was in the description.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be able to click on the link just by seeing that, but that's that.
No, but they can screenshot it and copy and paste it.
It is in our description. So if you go
Yes.
into our YouTube description, you'll be able to find it.
Yes. So Amber, I uploaded little screenshots because it wouldn't let me upload the actual clip of the timeline kind of, and I just got like the busier part so people can kind of get an idea. There's 3 different images.
Is this the mural?
Do what?
Is this the mural?
Yes.
Yeah, my sister did one of these. These murals are super cool, you all. This is really wild.
Yeah, and it's hard to see on here, but I kind of just wanted people to kind of see what I was talking about, where she's going, and like we will find a date for something and something that we can nail down versus like, something she says may have happened, or if it's something she says may have happened, like we put it there with like a question mark or whatever, or she does. I don't edit any of it. I just give the dates. But she's going and she's also confirming some of these things with like websites and stuff. And one of the things that she has confirmed, and I wish I would have zoomed in on it to get it, but Dee Dee and Gypsy missed the 2015 con. But per the FOIA that you filed, whenever she started using her burner phone was the day after the convention.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
She's She got that phone, uploaded on Facebook on it, and started using it.
So what's your very your hypothesis at the moment?
Theory.
I don't know if we have a conclusion just yet, but we are noticing, or me and her, she was going through this with me, are noticing within days to 2 months after the cons, Dee Dee and Gypsy are making purchases like a cell phone or a Nissan Cube. So that's really interesting because there is an uncomfortable amount of times that VisionCon comes up in this entire case, starting with Dan. So years before, and Gypsy and them, that was like the one group of people that during their years in Missouri, they consistently stayed in touch with.
Okay. Yeah, and we're getting a lot of information behind the scenes about all kinds of things. According to that. Okay. Is it possible she went by herself and didn't have Dee Dee to take pictures for her?
At VisionCon?
No, Dee Dee was at VisionCon with her.
Yeah, there's been people that have confirmed they spoke to Dee Dee, for better or for worse.
Well, and in 2015, they post that they can't make it to VisionCon. And there's something I've noticed, and I will tell everybody I've noticed this, so that if they're going through these drives, especially Dee Dee and Gypsy's Facebook page, I've noticed, because I noticed this in Nick's emails, Gypsy does not know how to spell the word they. It's always THAY. And I've seen that a lot in updates that were Dee Dee's updates, but then I see where it's spelled THEY. So I think that might be one way that we can say, okay, Gypsy wrote this versus Dee Dee wrote this. And I'm looking for little words like that I'm finding, like, okay, she said this repeatedly with Nick and never spelled it right once. Now I go and I scan that document for that word that's misspelled, and then I scan it for the correct spelling of that word to see if it comes up.
Wow.
Well, we're on military broadcast radio. I mean, do we have any linguists that can go through those messages and find the patterns and let us know for sure?
I mean, I would sit down and talk with them.
I have a case they could look into. I'm just saying.
What kind of linguistics? I know somebody who's into linguistics, but
there's all kinds of people in the military who do all kinds of things, and this is going out to them, veterans who have served many years probably and able to do this kind of stuff. And if they want a project, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, and I did see somebody in the chat said they would do it for 500. I don't have 500 at this moment. I'm not saying I won't ever, but right now I would need like volunteer help.
Yeah, this is all a volunteer basis.
And I do think it would be kind of hard too to just go off of talking style, because they were always with each other. So I'm sure they have very similar talking
patterns,
if you will. I think it's gonna be the misspelling of the words is what's really gonna give it away.
Yeah.
Hey, Audrey, do you know what month VisionCon 2015 was?
February, I believe.
Because I was just trying to find it and I couldn't. I was wondering if it was February, because February, okay, so VisionCon 2015, when I just Googled it, it said it was in Branson instead of Springfield. So Gypsy wouldn't have been able to easily sneak out and get to it without Dee Dee.
Okay.
No, because they're not close.
Right. Branson's
Well,
like 40,
like 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
So let me go to this chart because I can pull it up. It's loading and see, because I'm pretty sure we have it on there because the Nissan Cube was a purchase at that time. So
another thing too is February 2015 is when Gypsy made that video where it looked like she was in a bus all high in that wig.
Yeah.
And I wondered if, with not being able to go to VisionCon, she was trying to sneak out to see Dan or someone there. Just, I don't know. I just wonder if it's connected.
So VisionCon was the weekend of February 22nd, and Gypsy's burner phone The data on it starts February 23rd.
Oh.
So, and she just messaged me. She said VisionCon was February 20th to 22nd.
Really?
Let me
Mm-hmm.
see exactly what the date was on that video. Because obviously, I don't think she went to Branson to VisionCon or anything. I just think she was probably jealous that her Springfield friends went to Branson and VisionCon and maybe took the bus, because we know she had a Springfield bus fare card, to try to visit one of those friends like Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and for people that are tracking the VisionCon stuff, March 13th. Okay, so VisionCon's February 20th to the 22nd. She gets the burner phone February 23rd. And then March 13th, David Blanchard was removed from the Garrison 66 page, which is a department of the VisionCon groups. There's a few different departments that we've linked down: the 501st, the 66th, the 60th. I think I took some notes on all of them rather than trying to scroll through all these, because it's not as easy on my phone. It's not as big as it would be on a computer.
Did VisionCon raise money for Dee Dee and Gypsy often? Like give
that
them?
I don't have an answer for.
We know a car club did.
Yeah. I just looked up the video where she looks high and looks like she might be in a bus, and it's date modified as February 20th, 2015, VisionCon time.
So we have a post: missing our wonderful friends at VisionCon. We hope you're all having a great time. We wish we could be there. We're sending our love and hugs. Then feel the same way. We were able to get miss you lots, miss you too. For some reason, I thought there was a post about her being sick right around that time. I'm going to need to dig in and look.
Was that when she was holding the sign that said, "Thank you, 501st Garrison"?
That was 2014.
Oh, gotcha.
So she missed 2014 and 2015. She missed the last 2 years of cons.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then she gets a phone right after the first one she goes to?
Right after the 2015 one.
Oh,
So the
after-
same year of the murder,
Us.
like according to the data, the phone is activated, the Facebook's activated on it and all that the day after the con ends. So con ends on Sunday, Monday she magically has a phone.
TA Swifty Fan 13 says she was a cryptonologist in the U.S. Navy and can help you.
Yeah, we just saw that. Tay Swifty, if you want to email us, what is it? intotheweeds@militarybroadcastradio.com.
Yeah.
I'll give you her contact information. I talked to her a lot. She's the one who gave me the idea for the green witch typing gypsy that I use in the email videos.
No, we really appreciate Tay Swifty Fan. I even made her a moderator today.
That's fun.
She actually messaged me and asked me to thank y'all for that.
Yeah,
You're welcome. Okay. Check something, because I thought I saw pictures of her in a 2014 photo album.
So somebody wrote that the hotel closed in 2014 and that's why they moved it to Branson, which you guys probably already know.
Howard Johnson.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
I have the perimeters for profanity, the threats of harm, and the explicit sexual contact and all that. So she also did one for personal information as well, like a social security, phone numbers, etc. So profanity, she put common cuss words and vulgar, I can never say that word right, insults, not personal identifiers, not explicit sexual acts, and not threats. For threats of harm, she put threats of violence, language expressing intent to hurt, kill, assault, or damage someone or their property, including conditional threats, if you, ... I will, and stalking, intimidation, I will find you. Note this also includes someone having them done to them, like Nick saying Demona will do something to him, which we do see him say a lot. And for the explicit sexual content, she put graphic sexual acts, explicit, and I can never say his word either, whatever. Sexual content and solicitation. And then for personal information, phone numbers, emails, address, social security, date of birth, account numbers, or other identifiers that could expose someone. In 2015 was the year David Blanchard was also replaced by Brandon as the chairman with VisionCon.
So it sounds like probably every time Nick wrote the word grape got included in the threat category.
Yeah, it sounds like that would be.
Yeah, and we know a lot of that was consensual, so we can take that chart with a grain of salt, probably.
So maybe
She said yes, it did include that. She's watching and responding. Thank you, girl.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I wonder how we could. I wonder if she could ask it to remove the word grape and see what it came up with. I don't know. We'll work on it.
Okay. No, I'm really very interested to see all this.
Yeah,
especially when I can actually see it.
There's so much gray with them.
Yeah. And Millie, I know you've been keeping some dates too. If you wanted to share them, I can have them plugged in too. Because with some of what she's doing, she's able to crawl websites and see stuff as well.
Well, the timeline I was creating was kind of Gypsy's lies, so I don't know if she wants that in there because I took all of her dates from My Time to Stand and then was contrasting them. So I don't know if she wants My Time to Stand BS in her data, but if she does, I'll be happy to share it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. She hasn't said anything at this moment, but if I get an answer, I'll let you know. If not, I'll text you after. It's all good. But yeah, I really like a visual chart. For me, like I said, I'm a visual person. So
I'm same. It's hard for me to read a bunch of stuff and digest it all.
Yeah.
Without kind of a visual stimulant. Unfortunately.
Somebody said, never mind, I'm not going to read the comment.
Ooh.
It was a good one, but
it's all right.
I didn't see it, but
okay. Is there anything else that you want to share or show anybody?
That was what I had for tonight.
Okay.
Well, we really appreciate you bringing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we're kind of getting to the point where we've released a lot of the stuff that we do have. So
pretty much everything. There's one thing that I haven't really released as far as like I have the donor list, but it's got everybody's information on it, like their phone numbers and addresses and stuff like that. So I've got to go in there and redact that stuff before I release it.
I saw there were people from kind of all over. There was probably less than 15 people that were on that list.
Yeah, there weren't very many.
And was that for the cancer thing, or what was that for? The donor stuff.
Let me look.
Hold
on.
I've seen a donor list somewhere before, and I think it was for the praying for Dee Dee and Jip, but also, or no, not the praying for Dee Dee and Jip. It was the Gypsy trip.
On there? Because this is stuff we have already released. Sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you, Audrey. I was just listening.
It's okay.
Paying attention. I came across it earlier. I know there was somebody from Orlando, Florida. There are a bunch of people from, I think, Springfield and a couple other places. Oh, you got it pulled up. Okay. Because I don't really know what this is even really going to show people. There's 16 people. Yeah, I don't really think that's going to show anything. So the
majority
places that they were donated from, we have Orlando, Parkville, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, Lenexa, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, Nixa, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Berryville, Arkansas, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, Johnson City, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and then another Springfield, Missouri. So there's honestly not even that many Springfield, Missouri people in there. And this is for what again?
It says sponsorship for Gypsy 2015 GoFundMe. Electronic files for GoFundMe.
Wondering, and it actually tells you, oh my goodness. So if somebody, I should have said it while I was looking through, but I'm going to read through again real quick. So the Orlando, Florida thing donated $50. The Parkville, Missouri also donated $50. Nashville, Tennessee, the person donated $3,500. The person from Lenexa, Kansas donated $25. A Kansas City, Missouri was $50. Another Kansas City, Missouri was $50. Nixa, Missouri was $30. Springfield, Missouri, $1,000. Berryville, Arkansas, $25. Overland Park, Kansas, $100. Springfield, Missouri, $100. Johnson, Tennessee, $20. New Orleans, Louisiana, $20. Ponchatoula, Louisiana was $25, and then Springfield, Missouri was $5. So there's a couple people that really donated a significant amount. But I mean, other than us saying that,
Yeah.
there's
So,
really not much to put out about that.
yeah, I mean, somebody will connect
Find
it
it.
somehow to
Yeah.
something, but
Someone said $3,500. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I want to make it very clear. I've never donated $3,500 to anybody, but sometimes if you feel particularly compelled about a GoFundMe or, something else where someone's fundraising, sometimes you put in a little bit more money than you have.
I
you
will
know?
say that Rachel Miller, it looks like, is the Kansas City one, and she donated $50 one time and $50 another time.
And was that the person that was Aunt Rachel?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Which, yeah.
So,
Very interesting.
and then Sam Arthur is the one from Springfield that donated $5.
Somebody asked if the $3,500 was someone named Miranda. No, it wasn't. I don't know who Miranda would be either, but
It's
no.
the person from Nashville.
Oh, the person that donated. Gotcha.
3,500. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And there's no
Miranda Lambert is who they were thinking of, but
Oh,
Miranda
okay,
Lambert gave her a check for $3,500, I believe.
Yeah. She
Oh,
did.
gotcha. Yeah, but there's no Miranda Lambert or Miranda of any
In
kind
the
that's in this
GoFundMe.
list. So not to say that anybody didn't donate privately, but
Yeah.
here.
This
Because
is just it.
that's a whole other thing. Like a lot of people will donate
Someone
private.
corrected me and said Miranda donated $2,800. I apologize.
Okay. Well, I saw a clip of her on Theo Vaughn's podcast a while ago. And it seemed like she's still kind of buying into stuff, but she was also saying that she had researched a lot. So I'm interested to see what Miranda Lambert and some of the other people that interacted with Gypsy think now. Or if they've seen any of the stuff that's come out now.
So I'll just say the person with the last name Westbrook in Nashville, Tennessee.
Tati Westbrook. I'm just playing.
So that's who that was.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't give any more information out about these people because they're just people that.
Oh, well,
bought into the
and Marcia
cause.
Smith, which
Did you
is
donate like 1,000?
1,000. Yeah.
Was she somebody that was somewhere you talked about?
Yeah.
I can't recall.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha.
She's the one who did an interview and said that Gypsy spent the night at her house a few times and talked about how the cats would jump in the bathtub with her because they understood that Gypsy was their mom.
Gotcha. And real quick, she's the one who donated $100. $1,000 was somebody else. If you look up top. Oh no, she did. She did $100 and then or $1,000 and then $100. That was my bad. So or $1,100. Oopsie, my bad. Interesting. Yeah, two different things, and it seems like a couple people did repeats.
Yeah,
only
anyway.
her and Rachel. So
yeah, so that's what that is, and I'll
Yeah.
just go through and black out some of the stuff.
Yeah. But not too much. But otherwise, we pretty much have everything that we have out. Not to say that there's not anything else that could come up. But I would say it's safe to say that pretty much everything we have is gone
Yeah.
through. So
Yeah.
we might be moving on to other things. Not that we'll never talk about Gypsy again. But, there's a lot of other important cases that I think deserve some recognition. So we'll see what we get into. And we really hope that you guys are willing to come along on the journey with us.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else they want to contribute or talk about?
No, I did see a comment that. Never mind. Actually, I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to get y'all in the hot seat with me.
What?
I didn't see what it was
put it
about.
in the private chat or in the phone chat, in the text message chat.
Yeah. Now something that did cross my mind,
I have
something that we were kind of debating on bringing up or not, but something that happened yesterday that I just wanted to clarify that was a mistake and that we want to apologize for.
Let's just
Okay.
not at the moment, no.
My bad. Okay. Gotcha.
But we are sorry if we've made any mistakes or if we've done anything wrong.
Made mistakes, and that's life, I guess.
We'll address that later.
Okay, I respect your opinion.
Okay. I was looking. Okay. Hold on.
I don't know.
Also, I want to apologize for picking at my teeth. Whenever I turned off my camera, I took a bite of food and I didn't realize it was all in my teeth.
Girl, up and over here, I had a couple things of chips and queso because literally all I've eaten today is chips. I had buffalo chicken chips. If anybody's watching that has a Sam's Club membership, Wild's buffalo chicken chips, they're protein chips. They are divine. That's all I have to say.
Audrey, are you talking about the gospel comment?
No, I put it in the private chat here.
Oh.
I didn't put it in the group text. Sorry.
Oh, that's just a.
I was gonna say it out loud and be like, "You got a point," but
I mean,
can I?
Girl, just talk freely. You're fine. You're
Yeah,
good. I don't know.
Somebody in the comments mentioned that they were raising money for Gypsy whenever we were asking, or y'all were asking, like, was Vision Con and stuff, and they said just like they did for Breeze Bell. So some things never change.
Okay. Yeah, and so I did get a little bit of feedback on me going on your show yesterday, Audrey.
Yes.
And I feel like, so when you asked any of us if we wanted to come on, I was like, yeah, I would like to come on because if they're going to talk about that substance, I at least know from a person who's actually lived in a home where the parents did it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin who's incarcerated because they did it, so I could add some value to the conversation if it went that way.
Yeah.
I tried my hardest not to, be disrespectful or rude or anything like that. And I'm sorry to anybody who found that offensive, but I mean, unfortunately, Bree inserted herself into this just like all of us. And in even bigger scale, she was actually going around saying that she was Gypsy's manager.
Whether true or not.
And so if one of us had been arrested, they would have done the same thing. So,
like, for instance, if one of us on panel would have gotten picked up for a DUI on New Year's Eve, our mugshots would have been spread everywhere.
Yeah.
And I empathize for somebody with an addiction issue.
Yeah.
Of people that I love that have addiction issues. All that I can personally say is I hope the best for anybody that's struggling with that and that they find rehabilitation and better friends.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to speak for myself whenever I say this.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people said what I did was wrong. It is going real life. I don't understand what they mean by that because Gypsy's case files are real life. It's not some Pixar clip movie we're picking up and reading about. What is covered here and on my stuff is true crime. Getting pulled over with meth is truly a crime. So it's true crime.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I have no regrets for what I done. If anybody else does, that's fine. Like, I love that everybody has their own opinions. And I also want to say, and this is coming from me, this is my chest, not anybody on the panel. I could have went so much harder on Bree, and she should be appreciative that I was chill on it. We just got up there. We read the facts on the paper, barely discussed it. I could have roasted the fuck out of her, and I didn't.
Yeah. And I was, when I responded, I made that point, that I felt like we went really soft on her. And I said, I felt like it was more like because I was on the panel and, I wasn't going to entertain it. So no one fed into it, and we kind of got off really quickly as well. So it was, it was more about reporting the facts than about snarking or being gossipy or anything like that.
Unfortunately, if you put yourself online, and that, that extends to me, if I do some stupid shit and I end up having to get called out for it, well, first of all, let you know that my mom's going to make sure I have my ass handed to me before anybody else does.
I will.
But regardless, if any of us make mistakes, unfortunately, it's just going to be online. That's how it is. If you put yourself out there, people are
And
going
she
to,
brought the
Especially
spotlight
if you
to her
start going
today.
live. Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy.
Sorry, she just brought. I mean, the whole spotlight was on her because of the whole 9 million view.
yes,
I mean,
Exactly.
it was so bright on her at that time. It was just a terrible time for that to happen.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If anyone in any context, any verse starts going live on a 9 million follower account and says, "Oh yeah, I'm the manager," and then gets arrested for that amount of schmeth a few days later, it's going to be news no matter what.
Yeah, and you know what? Barbara Ann from Straight Out of Context did a video where she measured out in flour how much that was, and it's a lot. And I actually have some rock candy that I might put on a scale just so you can get really like an accurate idea of what's going on, because it's not anything to sneeze at. I mean, it's
No, so I was talking to my husband about it because that was my husband's expertise.
30 years ago before I was
yeah,
born.
a long time ago before I even met him or anything like that. So, but I was like, so how much was that? And he was like, well, that was 2 8-balls plus, a little bit more. And I said, so for the regular average person, how much would a quantity like that last? And he's like, well, for the average person who's just like a regular user, it would be like anywhere from 2.5 weeks to a month. And he was very shocked that because it was put in 2 packages, why she didn't get distribution. So
Ashley was too.
Yeah, I mean, especially 2 packages.
Yeah. So, my husband said, well, did she narc on somebody? Did she tell, because that's usually the case when somebody doesn't get a charge like that, they've usually given up their dealer or whatever.
So who knows what's actually true in regards to that, but
and I want to acknowledge something else. I was being told it was being said that I edited the stuff to mention Gypsy's name. If you have a spare $21.90 laying around your house, I encourage you to go call them, ask them, how can I make a records request? Ask them for that. And for $21.90, you can get it directly from them to see I didn't edit anything. And also I was told that I'm broke now after that. I definitely had $21 available and still I could pay for it twice. So
no, seriously, you're so legit, because Millennial and I had a ongoing joking bet about how she was like, I bet somebody $20 in this chat that Bree is going to mention Gypsy. And I was like, I wouldn't be surprised, but no, I don't think she's going to mention her when she gets arrested for math, But, by hell, she was right. And so, you can see I sent her a little $24 donation because I know that YouTube likes to take their cut. So I wanted to make sure it was good for my money. But damn,
you're a woman of your word.
For your math, mention emergency. I mean, that's wow.
Yeah.
Well, and whenever we get the audio, we'll see if I win, because I 100% really think that she told them, "You're so weird, you don't even know."
Stop.
I was shocked. Millennial educated us today, because I always thought that Bree was from New York or and then
is she not?
Well, no, she lives in Louisiana. And so I was like, why the heck does she have that accent?
Well, she lived in New York for a while, right? And then she moved.
I don't know.
I don't know, but tell us about the accent.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of John Kennedy O'Toole. He's a very famous New Orleans author. And one of his famous quotes is there's a New Orleans city accent associated with downtown New Orleans, particularly the German and Irish Third Ward, which is hard to distinguish from the accent of Hoboken, Jersey, and Astoria, Long Island, where the Al Smith inflection, extinct in Manhattan, has taken refuge. The reason, as you might expect, is that the same stocks that brought the accent to Manhattan imposed it on New Orleans. So, knowing that history, her accent's never been shocking to me, even though it doesn't sound Southern, it does sound more Long Island.
Mhm.
Now, I could be incorrect, so nobody quote me on this, and I guess we'll figure it out because she loves to clear up misinformation. But but I feel like she did live somewhere up north, and then she moved
have
back.
no idea.
Possible.
I feel like she moved back. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about those
neither.
people, and I try not to pay attention to what they do.
It's very rare if I see anything they say.
It's occasional that people will send me something or whatever. So, but I did find it interesting that Christy came up to clear up the fact that Mia was not the person that Bree was going to see. So,
which is weird. That
Why did
was.
she say Gypsy Rose's sister?
I'm assuming it was Ivory Rose Grows Louder.
Allegedly.
I'm assuming that my opinion. I'm assuming that's who they were talking about, but I have no idea. Only because I saw that she was living with Christy, and like I've said every time, you know, they are collectors of people.
And it's really odd how Christy decided this was the time to pop up when I personally haven't seen her since the FOIAs have been released. I'm not saying she hasn't been present somewhere, but the first time I've seen her say anything, it was on this Bree situation.
Well, and I especially, go ahead.
No, I just said a little odd. That's all.
I thought it was especially interesting that she said that the arrest was because they were needing to meet a quota. Like, let's ignore that she had meth on her.
Yeah.
Justspiracy in the comments said Bree mentioned it was her own sister that she mentioned, but that's not what the narrative says.
That's
The
not what
narrative,
Police report.
yeah, the police report narrative says she said she was a big advocate of Gypsy Rose and was trying to get to Rose's sister because of an emergency.
Yeah.
So,
And couldn't describe what the emergency was.
yeah.
Yeah. It's odd. And it's weird that that's a thing that Christy comes out of the woodwork to defend. I'm not saying it's because of one reason or than another, but it's odd.
Yeah. So, anything else?
I don't know. I feel like we pretty much capped it for the day. I mean, I have other shit to talk, but I don't think it's the time or place.
Yeah.
Amigo in the group chat.
Yes, girl, you got this.
Yeah, we definitely go back and forth trying to figure things out and supplying things for each other. And so I really like the teamwork and the respect that everybody has in this chat, especially Ashley as well, too. So we can't forget her. And
Yes, this plus Ashley is the group chat.
yeah, so everybody's doing a great job. And I'm learning so much from you guys because I'm just kind of sitting back and looking at some of the stuff, but not really, you know, finding all this information that you guys are. And so I just appreciate that you guys are working so hard at bringing this out and educating me and our subscribers along with us.
Yeah. And big shout out to Perez for pulling up tonight. I mean, I know that he probably didn't want to stay for the entirety of our show. I mean, sometimes we go up to 3 hours and we're a little shy of that right now, but you know, it is what it is. But there's a couple things I almost wish I could have mentioned that I might mention to him somewhere else because there was some stuff I had to say for sure.
You can shoot him a DM and he'll respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I shot him a DM before, but that's okay. No worries. You have more followers than I do. But yeah, no worries either way. But yeah, thank you everyone for pulling up, for being here with us. I think we had a pretty good live stream tonight. So,
Yeah.
and we do have some thanks to give out.
Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, thank you guys, the ladies of the group chat minus Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for showing up. And I think we're just gonna do our little thank you. So have a great night, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Much love.
Bye.
Oh, I did not mean to do that. That was an accident. Oopsie. I accidentally cut Millennial off mid-sentence. It's fine.
Sorry,
No one-
Millennial.
I'm not sorry. No one wanted to hear it. No, I'm just playing. You're good. We love you. Oopsie daisy. So thank you so much to Just Work. Oh my God, I love it. I can see Millennial in the background. They're getting undressed. Not undressed. She just took her wig off. She's looking at me. She's laughing. We love you, girl. Okay. I get that. If I had a wig to take off, shoot, that should be off right now. Nerve Club becoming a YouTube member. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome into the
Joy.
Weeds podcast. We love you, Joy. Pretty May became a YouTube member.
Yeah.
And I also made Pretty May a
you figured
mod
it out.
today. I
Okay.
figured it out. Well, I couldn't find her. I couldn't do it on my account for some reason. But anyway, we made you a mod. So thank you very much, Pretty May. Renax, member for 3 months. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
La Boo Boo Star. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I
Those
see this
things are
every
so
time.
freaky.
The La Boo Boos.
Yeah.
I think they're cute. I would get one. I just have to be like not like other girls, like everyone says I am. Anyway, Just Coast became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. And I think some of these people are because of 1970.
Yeah. And Rebrand did 20, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rebrand and Mr. Millennial. Is Rebrand a moderator in here?
I believe so.
I was looking through here and I was trying to find people, but it's so hard sometimes. So
Mhm.
anyway, all good. Thank you so much, Jess Coast, for
Mhm.
becoming a new member. Moderate Climber, welcome into the Weeds.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much for coming on in. Missy Lee. Oh, is that
Missy
Daniel?
Lizzy.
That's Daniel Larson. That's Daniel Larson. Locked up in Springfield. Locked up in Springfield, y'all, just so you know, right
You know,
where the crime was.
Dad
committed.
showed me the picture or that video of Cyrax.
Oh,
He came in, he's like,
he did.
look at this.
Oh
I
my
was like-
God. Yeah. Okay. I watched the low cows, but just low key. I'm not like an asshole about it. Or I don't think. I guess everyone who pays attention to them is an asshole. But regardless. Anyway, the reason why I brought up Daniel, it's funny because he had a toothbrush incident, much like Gypsy. So
I
anyway,
saw it on Reddit. Yeah.
you saw it on Reddit or
No,
you heard me
just-
mention it?
Just the picture of both of them. holding
I offered
toothbrushes.
to show her a picture of it
And I
or a
said,
video of it.
"Absolutely
And she
not."
said no. So to those who know, you know. And to those who
Misty
don't,
Rose,
you're
it's
blessed.
just me. Thank you for hanging out with us this long, 8 months.
Oh, I know. I've seen her around
Yeah,
here.
me too. Mr.
Thank you.
1980.
I made sure to give you like the exclusive moderator thing. So like there's like 2 different tiers. I made sure that I gave you that shit. So if you need to lay down the law, lay down the law. We love you.
Tay Swifty, thank you.
Ashley, what the Prince of the Purple Rain diabetes I'm calling wearing chick. I wish she would have been able to talk. I
I
don't
know.
think we let her say a single word, but she was wearing that collar.
I'm gonna have to
and the
figure
bow.
out her audio and everything.
Mhm. I feel so bad because it's not like that on TikTok.
No, it's
Anytime I
perfect
watch her
on
on TikTok, it's great, but I don't like watching TikTok as much because I can't do other things and it's hard for me to concentrate on one thing at once.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Snowflakes and Firefly. I believe they think she was still a minor in the vids, and
That is true.
That is a sentiment I've seen so many different places, and something that we forgot to talk about, but a really big channel that gave us a shout out, thank you, and also covered the videos with Cinnamon Toast Ken.
yeah.
And they were very adamant about, hey guys, we've been saying this for a while. Like, well, I think Buff Pro or Dane didn't realize that it was that she had been the age that she was, but Ken was like, listen, we've been knowing she was like an adult. So it's complicated. It's complicated for sure. Thank you, Jenna Howden, for becoming a member and for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. And we have a couple of cool membership only videos. There's at least one thing that's in the style of a game show that you guys should watch, but there's more stuff that we'd like to upload in the
We're
future.
gonna add some more, I promise. I just
It's been
haven't
busy around here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And on top of having a job, nothing.
Yeah.
Dog lover for life. I'm not going to pick up Oatsy because he's sleeping, but he appreciates Thank you again, Labubu Star. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kinky Cajun, is a fat paycheck. Well, I mean, we appreciate everything, but nothing is necessary. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And
Not that I've seen any of it, but I live in your house for free for now. So it's fine.
Yeah. And we started this out, just as cognitive therapy for me. It's not
And
about
you legally couldn't have even made any money when we started this.
Yeah,
out,
when we first started, I
legally.
couldn't have. Yeah. So thank
Yes.
you. And it's been a huge blessing, and we're blessing other people with the things that we get.
Oh yeah.
And I don't advertise a lot just because I feel weird about it. And I love how other people, do their things, but I just have to figure out how I want to do it.
She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes to help out people that people will never know about.
Yeah.
So you don't need to, some things you can do quietly. And not that there's anything wrong with doing it loudly, but I respect your opinion on that. And I understand. I get it.
Yeah, no, but I would like to share some things. So hopefully I'll write a couple of people that we have been donating to and things like that, and maybe have them share something about it.
Yeah. So then also we have Mads Harris, who would listen to her voice for hours. Well, we have. And if y'all are sitting in watching all the stuff, odds are that you've probably also listened to her for hours. So checkmate. No, I'm just playing.
And we've got tons of videos on there, not just stuff about Gypsy Rose. You'll see me evolve from my very first video of doing it by myself and not knowing what the heck I was doing. But
and then me joining and also not knowing what the heck we were doing.
And we're still learning every day. Every day is a process of learning. So
and audio problems galore.
Yeah, but thank you for being on this journey with us.
Yes. 1970 says it got all messed up for a bit. Grandma Flowers, is that you? Anyway. Call her podcast the Gypsy Human Etch a Sketch. I just broke my mom. My bad.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, the flowers thing isn't made up. Anyway, okay. A great mainstream media probably listens News 12 Long Island. If you reach out to them, they will listen. There's a couple of local-ish stations that I've been talking to her about that I'd like to reach out to. I tried to kind of look for some email contacts. Didn't really get that far, but I think we can make some moves. So thank you very much for looking
we
into it.
have something coming out pretty soon that
will be easier for us to send around.
That will be easier for us to send around. That Nancy and her sister and her fiance are working on.
People that are in the business
that are really working hard on it, and I'm super excited about it. And it'll eventually come out, but I don't know how long it's gonna take.
But for now, we don't release our stuff to the public until we know that it's legit, until it's all going straight.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
otherwise, because I mess up all the time.
Oh, well, yeah. If you want to count, there's a running count on Reddit on all the times I've messed up. So it's good. Dog lover for life. Thank you again. Someone that followed Gypsy's case and was originally a part of Fancy's team, first to leave her team. If you would like to email Into the Weeds podcast at militarybroadcastradio.com.
.us.
My bad. If you were the first person to leave her team, not just someone who supported her, I'm very interested in what you have to say. That's something that I wish we could have gotten into with Perez, but maybe we'll do it some other day. Y'all flip me 110%. It's bananas how it was covered and how we did 360 with the FOIA. Yeah, it's insane because I have been always very adamant that I'm not like pro DD or whatever. I'm not trying to excuse the things she did.
Gypsy.
Or pro. Well, I mean, I was for a little bit, but not since we've been doing this.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, even just since September when we did the initial the crime con. There, like I said, there's videos of me saying, yeah, Dee Dee's crazy and she was abusing Gypsy, and now I'm not so sure. That is not why we came here, though, to disprove the abuse claims. It was just because we were trying to see what the crazy lady in Chillicothe was saying, if it was legit or not. That's all, because we didn't trust her documents.
And I wanted to make a project for the state of Missouri, but yeah.
For sure. There's a few different reasons, but that's what I was thinking. Anyway. Dog lover for life. I always thought they were missing pieces to this case. I'm so grateful for all your hard work getting the FOIA files and showing her true ways.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you, Mama.
And we have more coming, hopefully.
Mads Harris said Audrey hit the nail on the head. I would agree. I don't know what we're talking about specifically, but she always hits the nail on the damn head.
She does.
I'd say she's one of the best in the game. Her and Millennial and Ashley, they do a really good job breaking stuff down. And we're just kind of like the catch-all, you know. We put stuff out, and a lot of people are, and you know, we really appreciate them putting in some hard work. Rebranded Story, thank you so much for the 20 memberships.
I sat in with Rebrand last week and watched her watch paint dry. So
I was sitting there when you were saying that. She's like, I watched paint dry. I was like, damn. I was like, okay, let's do it. I love Rebrand. You also made sauerkraut that one time, right?
Yes,
she made sauerkraut. Okay, y'all subscribe to Rebranded Story because she's got shit going on.
Yep.
2 con artists and 1 psychopath. It's seeming more and more. I'm not someone who can diagnose, but I'm not going to disagree.
I don't think Dee Dee was the monster that we were all told.
Dog Lover for Life said, we love you, Perez. And yeah, Perez is chill. I mean, you know, it's not anything I wouldn't say to his face. You know, there's some stuff he's done in the past that he even admits to that I think is crazy, but we all make mistakes. And I appreciate the fact that he's at least giving this case the coverage it deserves. There's some stuff, like I said, that I wish that we would have been able to get into a little bit. I think he's more in it for like the fun, salacious stuff than like all of the stuff we are getting into, but that's okay. I respect it and I get it. So we really do appreciate him coming on though, because it's wild, because I've been knowing who he was since I was like a literal fucking child. And the fact
because I used to watch him.
a literal child. So it's like, ooh, okay, bet. Thank you so much for S. Leggett for becoming a new member. I hope I said that right. Snowflakes and Fireflies says, I just think Nick was quite limited in descriptives. I think that's an accurate assumption.
Yeah.
Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you, that New England girl. We appreciate you. Sharon Howard 884. If Gypsy allegedly planned the murder to coincide with ovulation, why did she send Nick into Walmart for condoms?
There's so many weird things that happen, and we see,
I have no clue.
We see evidence of certain things happening, and then other evidence of other things happening that contradict each other, and it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
This case is so weird.
And then Tay Swifty fan, if you would like to send us any information,
reach out to Audrey. Actually, Audrey's the one doing all that stuff.
Audrey's on her stuff, honestly. So Audrey would be a great resource for you. We're just here to try and help, but Audrey's on her stuff for sure. Almost Love, thank you so much for becoming a member. Did you catch Bree's hair color? Is unknown or completely bald? I did see that.
I've never seen that.
Don't think she's bald. Don't think she's bald, but I thought that was a funny way to say that.
It was weird. I've never seen that.
Thank you so much, Joy. Ooh, you okay? Oh no. Oops, he fell. He adjusted himself and he almost fell off the chair. He's good. Okay, we're good. Joy says Outer Space Man. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Joy, for everything you do.
And for moderating. You are one of the OG moderators. Lay back down, baby. So you guys are all my favorites, including Ashley. Yes, we wish that Ashley could join in more, but her phone doesn't like her. Oh no! Okay, someone, you just watched him yeet himself off this chair, didn't you? He just yeeted himself off the chair, but thankfully I caught him in time. Sorry,
you guys are all my favorites, including Ashley. Thank you very much.
sorry. To everyone in this. Oh my bad. It's on there yet.
Rebrand, you're not a moderator. We'll have to fix that.
I'll fix it. We'll figure it out. Don't worry, girl. To everyone in the storm path, stay safe, warm, and off roads. Don't forget to check in with your online communities after family friend check-ins.
Yes.
Family and friend check-ins. Yes. I've been inside all day, so I've taken Oates to the bathroom a few times, but he wants to be difficult and he likes to take his time to do his business. And then by the time he's ready, his feet are cold. So as soon as we're done with this, he better go potty. My first live that I'll be able to catch. Thank you so much for joining in.
Yeah, doggy lover.
We got a new member, Gotcha Chipmunk. Thank you.
I like
And then Rebranded Story became a YouTube member again. Okay. Real quick, I just want to make sure. I feel like there was a couple other that might have popped in. Okay, maybe not. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Oh yeah, Oates is the dog. Hey, it's Oates. The E is very important. It's like Hall and Oates. So y'all put some respect on his name. Oh, she said quite a thud, the pump mate. It's because his little head hit the desk. I felt so bad. He didn't fall though, I promise y'all. I was trying to protect him. He didn't make any sounds. He's okay. Oh, my dad just made a sound though. It's okay. We're almost off. We love you, Dad.
Okay.
Anyway. Oh, and then Rebranded Story, a member for 11 months. Girl, we're going to have to make you a mod. So sorry that didn't work out.
She was at one time. I don't know what happened.
A couple people disappeared, so it's not personal, we promise. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for popping on. We really appreciate y'all.
The test video is up. I hope not.
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay. I'll check that out.
Someone said Hall and Oates. Yes. Yeah, Hall and Oates. And although my friend told me it was like Oates, there's like some NHL Hall of Famer with the last name Oates. He's like, you should say NHL Hall of Famer Oates instead of Hall and Oates. And I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but it doesn't mean anything to me. So anyway, it looks like the thing that you posted might be back up. So we might have to make sure that's not on anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out.
Big X on that one.
Well, we hope that everybody has a very blessed evening, that if you're watching on the replay, thank you. And please go out and do something good to change the world for the better. Please.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up. Stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.